HIV/AIDS is a disease that has vast socioeconomic effects. Though the incidence of HIV in the U.S. has steadily declined over the past 15 years, within the Black community, the incidence of HIV is increasing. Although Black women account for only 7% of the U.S. population, according to the CDC, the rate of new HIV infection among Black women is nearly 4 times that of Hispanic Latina women and nearly 15 times that of white women. Though this increasing incidence is due to multiple factors, the down low phenomenon, or heterosexual men having discrete homosexual relations, is an emerging factor. What exacerbates this issue is the fact that unprotected sex and lack of awareness of HIV status is common among this subgroup.
I think that men on the down low does play a significant factor in the spread of HIV and AIDS. Black men who are homosexual, they tend to try to hide their homosexuality, and in doing that, they tend to have a homosexual relationship and a heterosexual relationship to cover up the homosexual relationship. That in and of itself is a major contributor to HIV.
The down low, I think it is a serious issue in the African American community, and no, it is something that has been around, in my estimation, for a very long time. It's just that the African American community has yet to come to grips with the fact that, you know, it's there. Men are having sex with men and they are having sex with women, and again, some women know it, some women don't know it. Yes, it is at epidemic proportions. It's a crisis in the African American community, and it needs to be addressed.
I recently had a patient that we diagnosed with AIDS. She was a minority female who'd only slept with one person her entire life, and that was her husband. She was totally floored when she presented with symptoms of AIDS, and we told her what was going on. And she said, "How can this be? I've only slept with one person, and that's my husband, and I divorced him 6 years ago because he was cheating on me." She exemplifies what is happening to minority women in America today. They don't have high-risk behavior themselves, but they sleep with someone who has high-risk behaviors.
The way that I contracted HIV was from my husband in what I thought was a monogamous relationship.
And more I'm seeing persons come into my office who are expressing the fact that that their boyfriends or partners or whatever, or in some cases, in my last case, their husband is on the down low. And I have had an increase in those persons who have been diagnosed with HIV and not even really aware of the fact that they had been infected.
I don't know how my husband contracted the disease. However, I do know that it was not from other men. My husband was truly heterosexual in every sense of the word.
I think that the Black church could be very integral in helping to reduce the spread of HIV by talking about sexuality, homosexuality, the spread of HIV.
I think the church could be open to conversations about homosexuality and men having sex with men, but we are in the South. And again, when we start talking about those cultural stigmas, you also have a lot of judgment that takes place. And so you have to be really careful in terms of opening up those conversations and developing the groups in such a way that the people feel safe in doing so. I have participated in groups in other places in church. We have not done it here yet, but I think it would be helpful to be open to it. Since we teach that it is wrong, we have to also be available to help them to make right choices.
What I want to say is it's really important for you to know your partner. It's really important to get HIV testing.
It's clear that there is a disparity in the rate that African American women are contracting HIV, and an understated contributing factor is MSM. Unfortunately, this is an issue that is not being sufficiently addressed.
HIV continues to be a killer in the African American community, destroying lives and evaporating futures.
Abstinence, practicing safe sex, and remaining sexually faithful are some of the ways to help reduce the spread of HIV in our community.
It's also important to ensure that you and your partner get tested.
So take the time to get to know your partner and be that listening ear.
Ensure the choice that you make will be a decision that you can live with for the rest of your life.
And get tested.